Prince is dead.
You mean the artist formerly known as Prince? Because he's dead. Because he's dead. Today's Captain's Blog was brought to you by Brad Wilmot.
Okay. But they stick it all against having had that all happen.
Right.
So we have the bill from the previous to show like a normal, and then you can see the electrical usage.
That's crazy. Now, did you notice on who looks at the bills? You or
I
you?
them in email. And
Oh,
it just says,
email. Did they always say estimated on it? Do you know? Because it would just be interesting to me if they were sending you stuff that said actual. I don't know if
they probably said estimate.
Okay.
But they changed the style of the bill a lot.
Right.
You get an electric bill.
Right, I mean, that's what we've been doing stories on, just that people shouldn't be back paid so many months. I mean, look, you guys are in a bigger company, but yeah, that's a long time.
So
I mean, I've done a couple stories. Well, I'm going to leave that up to you, because your office is very intriguing, and I like it a lot. So, whatever you want. Whatever you want,
in the lobby, we could do it in front of it. Yeah, it's quiet up here. So, if you want to put him over there on the window side, and
I'll let the genius behind the camera figure that out. I like the dinosaur a lot.
You want one? You can make one here. That's
insane.
That's the idea. Is you can come here and make them. We put a fleet of them in Rosa Park Circle last year for April Fool's Day.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was us.
That was great.
You can set up wherever you want, and then I'll put my cameras to match.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this is only live.
Yeah, this goes out live, and that goes out to YouTube.
I love it.
Well,
this is like the Grand Rapids.
we spend a lot of time dealing with the media and the press and that.
Right.
And you guys are going to talk to me for 20 minutes and edit that down to 2, and then it'll go out in B block. So in
No, it'll go out in the A block, never in the B block.
Really?
Problem solvers never go in the B block.
Okay. Well, we get A block today, but you're still going to edit it to all the hell. So what we do...
Well, it'll air tomorrow, actually.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're really big on transparency and accountability, which is, I know, a radical concept in today's world. But anytime I talk on camera in public, we shoot video of the whole thing, and that'll go out in editing, and it'll go straight out to YouTube.
Awesome.
And this is going out live right now. That's freaking the hell out of me.
Yeah, really.
This goes out live right now to IPTV, so this goes out globally.
Oh, cool.
Anybody on Earth with an internet connection can tune in for free.
Awesome.
So it's fun. And we get real-time feedback. We have a giant IRC chat room with a couple hundred people hanging out in it. And they're watching this live, and they kibitz and tell us the many ways in which we're horrible people. So.
Can I work here instead?
Sure, you want a job?
If anyone from Box 17 is watching, I didn't mean that.
The only person from Fox who hangs out here is Dale.
Oh, okay.
The engineering guys, half of them hang out here, they're members of that. This is true of every station in town.
Oh, good.
We have 3 live broadcast channels that go out from here. And the whole system runs on your antiques.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, Carter was telling me that, Brian Carter was telling me that you guys take some of our old parts.
Yeah, lots of them.
Yeah.
Like, they'll pin camera to this young man. Okay, that's about a $30,000 camera that he's playing with there. And he takes them out into the field and he does bad things to them for about a year. And then they break. And they all break in the same way.
Really?
In the older generation of cameras, it was always the tape deck would die. Because that's the part that it's in and out, and he's beating on it. But the camera, the optic system, and the actual part that captures the image, they last forever. Well, to him, it's junk. But to us, we mount it in the ceiling, plug power into it, video out. It never records. It's just shooting live video all the time. Nothing goes to tape. We never record anything. There's no tape delay or anything like that. So if you're standing in this room and you go, "Fuck!" that goes right out to the entire internet. And if you did that in your studio, you'd be looking for a new job. But we can do that here, and because the rules are very different here, we can get away with that stuff.
I like it. It's like a whole
There
new
are
world.
180 cameras around the building, and all of them feed the internet all the time.
Very Brother in here. You're always
It's
being watched.
super duper Big Brother. But instead of them just watching because they're nosy, some of them do. Some of them just watch to see the train wreck that is our life. But a lot of them get involved and help, and it's like super Google. Like if you're working on a thing, like if I'm trying to fix this camera,
Yeah.
and I need a manual for that. Instead of one person spending half an hour on Google trying to find it, you just turn to the IRC and say, guys, I need a manual for a XCam HD, which means it's probably a Sony.
Yes.
Okay, and I go to them and say, hey, I need this, and 150 people just, some of them are broadcast engineers and have their own manuals and stuff like that. So it's a we have it in 30 seconds.
So cool.
And the whole company works in partnership with this huge team of people all around the world.
Wow.
Like, in your master control right now, there's a guy sitting in front of a big thing with a lot of buttons.
Yep.
Right now, the person running our master control is, depending on who's doing it at the moment, is either in Australia or Wales, which is the United Kingdom.
Right.
And it could be either one. Or they both can, at the same time.
Very cool.
So it's a very unusual environment.
I like it.
Where do you want me?
Salmon pinkish colored chair in front of the orange table here.
Oh, here. You're going to put me in the pink chair.
I have it.
Am I in this opposite
Oh no, she's
chair?
got. Oh wait, no, I have them. Who has them?
You're holding it?
Yeah,
Oh, those are
yeah.
your
These are my
headphones.
headphones.
Because you can use onboard for this if you want, but we can.
Oh. I figured, you know, you've seen that too. You take care of it.
Am I going to be sitting for this or standing?
Sitting.
I'm sitting? Okay. Then I can. This is a girl's mic!
What do you mean?
Girl mics go backwards from boy mics.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Look at the way you button up your shirt.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I will just put this on weird because I want to screw through it. I'm guessing you wear this a lot.
Or anyone we interview, basically.
Yeah.
We only get one.
You only need one mic.
Other than a hand, we get a handheld and we get that.
What kind of chicken shit operation you working for? I'm going to put this upside down. Sometimes that'll do it. Laps tend not to be terribly directional. You got audio on the app?
Get
Audio check 1, 2, 3. How is that right now?
nice and hot.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Then I'm just going to leave it upside down and we'll call it good.
Works for me.
Okay. Do you guys use Periscope too?
No.
Not.
We have our own. See that?
Yeah.
That's just waiting to be installed somewhere. It's just hanging out. So we could do Periscope off an iPhone, or we could have a $100,000 master control console and all the infrastructure to go with it. Do you guys use Periscope?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we do a lot on our phones now.
Really?
There's this, we have Verdigero, you know, those portable little backpacks that can go live, and then we can actually operate now from our phones. It's like a Gero app, so you do like the selfie mode, and if you can't get the live shot, I know.
Oh my
I know, it makes me want to cry. And then they also just sent out this thing. They want us to use this thing, and I kid you not, it's called Videolicious. And it's an app where you literally can edit your own cat on your phone. It's like iMovie. I mean, you can edit your own stuff on, you know, but it's like you edit it and you can put graphics and all of that. I mean, it's not meant to be a full package.
it's not.
Like a cop-out version of that, but if like we're in a pinch and they want the material, like we have the capabilities to do it on our phone in the field.
Crappy video off your phone is better than no video.
I mean, I would argue, depending on the day and what we're talking about, I would say sometimes no video is
We
better
do
than
a lot of run and gun stuff.
Right.
But we shoot on an X5s. Like
Okay.
that's our good camera. Like our best camera is an FS100. That's as good as it gets.
Right.
And like his lens costs more than our FS100. So what do you want to know?
Okay, well, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to know is
We're in high def. I'm going to put certain things like account numbers down.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
when we will take video of this, but we won't show any any addresses,
No
accounts.
last names, brand names, and phone numbers.
Perfect.
I know the rules.
Okay, so before we start, will you just say and spell your first and last name for me?
Chris Boden, B-O-D-E-N. And for the person running Avid today, please put it at thegeekgroup.org, not thegeekgroup.com, for the love of Christ. Thegeekgroup.org. We're at 902 Leonard Northwest, 49504.
Okay, now before we get started, tell me about the Geek Group. What do you guys do here?
We are you familiar with what a makerspace is? Have you heard about that yet?
I know of it, but I've never actually been in one until now.
Okay, you're a smart person. And throughout, well, I'm being nice. It's Fox, I'm trying. But throughout your life, you've had 100 different instances where you've had a really cool idea, and then you roll over and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Or you're in the shower and you're like, man, that's cool. And 2 hours later, you forgot it. And then maybe a year later, you see some guy on TV in the small hours of the night selling your idea because he had the same idea and wrote it down. It's really hard for people to go from art to part, from concept to creation, from something in your head to in your hands. And our entire facility, the city block of stuff, is a place for you to come and build anything you can imagine. And there's no limits or rules to it at all. Anything you can think of, you can make here.
And this is a non-profit.
Yeah, we're a national nonprofit organization. We have members all over the world, lots and lots and lots of members, and we make a lot of videos, and those go out globally, and it's all about getting people excited about science and engineering and technology and all that jazz.
How unique is a facility like this? I've never been or known.
We started in 1994, which was a decade before all the other makerspaces. Like now it's kind of a trendy thing to have a makerspace. We don't really market ourselves as a makerspace anymore. A makerspace is 2,000 square feet and 50 guys hanging out with a drill press and a 3D printer, and that's what they got. We have 43,000 square feet, and we have more tools in this building right now that you can use than they have for sale at Home Depot. So we kind of outgrew the maker space thing, and we became a national science center as of the first of this year, and are pursuing, we still do the makerspace stuff, but on a much larger scale. We have more gravitas.
Yes, very much so.
It's fun.
So, for people who are unfamiliar with how nonprofits work, what keeps you guys going? This is a huge facility.
A for-profit company exists to generate profit. A nonprofit company exists to serve the public trust. We exist to make your world a better place. Profit isn't the primary goal. Profit isn't a dirty word. You got to pay the light bill. You have to justify expenses, and you do have to turn a profit at the end of the year. When that happens, I'll let you know. But because we're in education, and everybody who's ever been elected ever was like, education, 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 because it's something everybody can get behind. And look at how much money they actually put into education. It's not so much. So we do this because we're young and dumb and want to change the world. We don't do this because we want to be millionaires. And in the world of the nonprofit corporation, you get to make a choice. You get to eat good, or you get to sleep good. Pick one. I sleep great.
I love how you put that.
It's
Very
really
bluntly.
true.
I like it.
There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that if people actually bothered to do their homework, and because every nonprofit files our tax report, our report card data, it's called a 990. And if people just took the time before they donate to a nonprofit to read their 990, to actually get off their butt and do some research, they're publicly available, you can find them anywhere, but to read their 990 and see where the money actually goes, and read their annual report and see what they actually did with that, it would turn the nonprofit world on its ear. Because there's a lot of nonprofits that have ridiculous amounts of funding that should not have ridiculous amounts, because you're like, but, and they gave you millions of dollars to do that? And that's why we have pink dumpsters? So, yeah.
So you rely on donations a lot of the time.
About
Is that
30% of our funding comes from grants, donations, foundational support. So it's people like you.
So,
And Fox is a sponsor.
yeah, I know. Everybody loves you over there. They're all talking about the Geek Group.
Well, it's because you have a lot of nerds.
Yes,
You,
we do.
The guy that in high school
We
that
do.
everybody called to hook up their home stereo? Yeah, that's him.
Oh, I love having them around because they literally help me with everything.
Yeah.
Smartest guys I know.
He can fix your computer.
Anything, yeah. Pretty much anything. Okay, so with that said, with the background of what you guys do, and we just talked about paying the bills here.
Yeah.
You guys got, well, okay, let's be honest, you use a lot of electricity here.
Compared to your house, we do.
3,000.
Compared to, yeah, about 3,000 a month. But compared to the average commercial environment, take a look at what Myers electric bill is. Just a typical Myers store for 1 month, you can buy a house with that. And here, it's about $3,000 a month is our typical electric bill. It's completely reasonable, it's completely fair. We do a lot of stuff with electricity. We have computer labs and a TV station and giant network operations centers, and we have a giant high voltage line. We make lightning explosions and stuff like that. So $3,000 a month is totally reasonable for us. We expect it, we budget for it, and we roll with it.
But you got an insane bill.
We got a bill. We got a bill for $48,586.30.
When you saw it, what did you think?
I peed a little. What I thought was, like, you get a $50,000 electric bill and you're like, oh, that's funny. And you think, computer screwed up somewhere. We'll get a new bill in a day or two. We'll get a phone call and be like, oh, hey, you might have gotten like a $50,000 bill in the mail. Just don't worry about that. It was a computer error. It happens. Because think of how many people get electric bills. Hundreds of thousands of people just in the city of Grand Rapids get electric bills. Because every house has one, every building has one. It's a universal commodity. Everybody has electricity. The hobo camp by the river has electricity. Okay? They do. They have a generator. Which I thought was pretty cool. We have some high-class hobos. But things happen. Mistakes happen. I run a company. We've made screw-ups. It happens. And you screw up and you say, my bad. You eat it. You go on with your day.
But you called.
We called, and they're like, no, that's for real. We're like, no, that's like a year all at once. No. And they're like, yeah, we gave you a correction.
So they're saying your bill was really $6,000 a month?
Yeah. Okay, here's how it works. I could be wrong on this, but this is what I've deduced through observation and critical thinking. I know these are radical concepts in today's world, but I'm a science nerd and that's just how we roll.
Okay.
Everybody has an electric bill. Everybody has an electric meter. And to figure out how much they charge you, they go to the little box on the side of your house, which is a kilowatt hour meter. Okay? Because that's how you sell electricity, by the kilowatt hours. If you have, like in your studio, if you have one of those big 1,000-watt Kliegel lights, okay, if you run that light at 1,000 watts for 1 hour, you've used 1 kilowatt hour of energy, okay?
Yeah.
And they charge, I don't know, 10 cents or whatever, it varies, but yeah. So they measure up how many kilowatt hours you've used over the month, and they bill you for that.
Right.
Well, to figure out how much to bill you, they have to send somebody physically to your place to read the numbers and write it down, or go beep on the thing, or whatever, but they have to record that number, and then you come back the next month, and you subtract this number from this number, and that's how much they use. It's a really simple, rock-solid system, right? But the person to come and read that meter is expensive, and you need a lot of those people. They have to read a lot of meters. So, you do the same thing the banks did with fractional banking, except you do it with people. You say, we have to read 1 million meters, we can only afford to read, let's instead of reading 1 million meters, let's read 500,000 meters. And we'll do them every other month. So now you can fire half the people and you just save a pile of money. And if you're a consumer's energy, that's all you care about doing is making money. That's what they're in business to do. So you just let these meters coast for a month, and then you get these the next month. And you say, okay, well, we charge them this, we charge them, and then if you have a database, a big computer database of what everybody's paid every month forever, which is easy to do because consumers' energy is really good at taking care of numbers. You just have a huge database, and you say, well, this house, every June for the past 50 years, we've had to charge them $100 for electricity. Well, it's reasonable to expect that next June, they're going to use $100 in electricity. It may go a little higher, a little low, but within reason, okay. So you let them coast for that month. You just charge them $100 like you always have. And And then when you come back the month after, it was a little, you're up $5, you're down $5, it's no big deal, it all comes out in the wash, because you just correct that, and you say, okay, well you actually used $103 this month, so we'll bill you $103 next month, we'll just add that extra $3 on, and you're cool. And nobody notices, because how often do you really look at your electric bill? All you care about is two numbers. What do I owe, and how long until they turn it off? That's it. That's all you care about. You don't read most people have no idea about, all the little taxes and tiny stuff. They don't know about their energy efficiency security, because who cares? What do I owe, and how long until they turn it off do I have to pay? That's it. So you just roll with it. And every other month, or, well, okay, if it works every other month, we just saved $500,000. Let's try every 3 months. We can fire a few more people. How far can we stretch this out before there's a run on the banks? They estimated us for 18 months, which would have been fine, but when they looked at the database for our building, and they went back over history, and you do those averages over years and years and years, we've only been here since 2010, with robots and a machine shop and a laser lab and 100 computers and 200 new lights, and the electric usage of this building changed radically. The people before us were at church. They were only here 1 day a week. And it was just people in chairs. Butts and seats is cheap. You don't need to run giant robots and all that. Butts and seats, it's easy. And once a week, 2 hours, and then everybody goes home. So they keep the heat down at 50 degrees and it's fine. And before that was a skate park. And before that was a YMCA. But you're going back years for that. This was the original West Side Y. So they didn't use anywhere near the electricity we do now. Because of that, the database was wrong. So they gave us a correction. After estimating our bill for 18 months, they gave us a correction of $50,000. That's a body blow to a company our size. We're not, some giant institute or something like that. We're a little science center. We're nerds. We have a shoestring budget, and a $50,000 hit nuked us. It set off a chain of events that nearly put us out of business, and from which we are just. And now it's like a year later, we're just coming out the other side of it. Like, we're back, we're cool, we're operating, life's good. But that put us through hell for months.
You paid it.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. It's consumers. It's a really simple option. Pay the bill, shut down the company. Pick one. There is no negotiating. That is it. It's very black and white because they're consumers.
Was there certain things you had to give up here, or?
We had to shut down a lot of things. We had to really pare back for about a year. And it killed programming for a year. Just killed it. Because if you want to raise money to get people to do a really awesome video series on robots, if you want to raise money to teach kids about how to drop an egg from 200 feet in the air and have it not break, no problem, that's easy. If you want to raise money to pay a light bill, good luck. Let me know how that works out for you. It's like, people don't realize when they support a nonprofit company that programming is easy to get funding for. Everybody wants to donate that. Toys and shiny wow, yay, fun stuff. But the stuff that we really need, we have to take the trash out. We have to pay the plumber like everybody else. We need heat and lights, and people need paychecks, and that's hard. That's the hardest part of my job is fundraising, and I hate it. I hate having to beg for it.
So what do you think, now that you've personally, literally gone through it and almost had to shut this place down, what do you think about consumers' effort to replace the meters now with smart meters?
I think that's an awesome idea. I think smart meters are great. There's a lot of people who freak out about smart meters. Those are the tinfoil hat crowd.
Don't say that too loud!
You're fucking nuts! And you can quote me on that on national television. You're a fucking idiot, and you should learn some basic physics and electronics. They're not reading your mind. Smart meters are a thing that a lot of people get in a twist about because they don't understand. If people actually wanted to be scared of something, of an invasive technology in their life, it's not your electric meter. It's the 2 cameras, microphone, and radio transmitter that you don't control, that you carry around with you everywhere and tell every single secret you have to. This is the thing to be afraid of. And if you understood everything that I know about this, you wouldn't have one, and when you did use it, you'd have to put the battery into it and turn it on to talk, and then you'd take the battery out and keep it in a locked drawer. Because this, as a technology professional nerd, guy who understands security and things like that, this scares the hell out of me. Smart meter is awesome. Smart meters are a wonderful technology because what it allows is a level of efficiency that we need smart meters not just for electricity, but we need them for gas and we need them for water as well. Because it makes the system better, it makes the system more robust, it makes the system more reliable. I like these things. I like engineering elegance. And smart meters are a good thing. It's scary because it's different. It's change. And they're like, ooh, they're going to know what we're doing. No, they're going to know that you're using a little tiny bit more of electricity at 7 o'clock than you were at 6 o'clock. But everybody does, because you eat dinner and then you turn on the television. And there's a little bit of, it's things like that. They can't tell what you're doing, they can tell that you're doing more electricity or less electricity. That's it.
Right.
And
So are you going to get a smart meter over here?
we already have one.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this was like a
I
new
think
accumulation.
I know we have a digital meter now.
Oh,
I
okay.
think we have a smart meter.
So this was like a new, but did they give you this bill when you had the smart meter?
No, I think we got the bill before the meter.
Okay.
The smart meter has nothing, the smart meter just tells them that, the smart meter allows them to not have to estimate bills.
Right.
That's a good thing. The estimating of bills is a bad thing. The monopolistic business practices are a bad thing.
Well,
But-
consumers is still a monopoly.
Yeah, because they have to be.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they have to be a dick about it. You don't have to, you get to choose every day. You get to wake up and choose. Do I want to be a dick today, or do I want to be nice today? Consumers does not choose to be nice. They gain nothing by being nice. Being the public relations person at Consumers Energy is the easiest job in the world. It's like being a weatherman in San Diego. Okay, this is an easy job because you genuinely don't care. If you do, if Consumers spends $100 billion on advertising, they're not going to get any more customers. They have nothing to lose and nothing to gain. It's the perfect market to be in. Everybody needs what they're selling. I don't know why they have a public relations arm. I think it's just to get warm fuzzies from people on time to time and handle when they do really crappy things like this. So.
Did they let you pay it out over the 18 months? Because they estimated
We had to pay it out over time because we simply couldn't do it all at once. I mean, it's,
Right.
you're trying to get blood from a stone. But they were not kind or in any way gentle as to how fast and how hard we had to pay it. And basically, they tripled our electric bill. Just instantly tripled our electric bill. And we had to dig out from under it. And we had to do fundraisers, and we had to do begging, and we had to do grant writing, and it sucked. The normal grant writing and fundraising in this company is stacked against impossible odds. To get hit with a $50,000 bill and to have people like, go, you should have paid your electric bill. You didn't know? No.
I pay what's given.
Yeah, they give you the bill, you pay the bill. That's how this works.
So basically, I mean, I know you guys are a wonderful organization, but you were lucky then to get through that. To find people that were willing to...
There was a fair bit of blind luck involved and a whole lot of hard work.
Not any other business wouldn't have maybe, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, for us it was absolutely touch and go for several months, and we're still not out of the woods. But if the exact same thing had happened to the florist across the street or the bike shop, they'd be out of business, they'd be gone. I mean, that's instant bankruptcy. If it had happened to us 10 years ago, we'd have been done. That would have been catastrophic. The only reason we were able to survive that is we have a lot of support. We have a lot of members. We have the IRC, and everybody got involved and they helped out. It wasn't like that I'm some business genius or something like that. We begged and we had a lot, and that's how we got through.
Anything else that I didn't ask you that you think is important? You're very good at this. You should do stand-up comedy or something.
You know, I should probably get a job where I talk on camera for a living.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I should do that.
Or have just a place where you work where cameras are everywhere.
We have 4 studios on the other side of that wall.
Okay.
We have 13 million viewers. I talk on camera for a living.
I love it. Okay, anything else? And after this, we just want to get you doing some cool stuff. Some cool science
I'll do some
stuff.
electricity stuff.
Okay, cool. Very well said, by the way. This
Well,
dream
I
interview.
I try to give you answers that aren't too long. I know that you want the soundbite. I know that you're going to edit everything I say down to a 5-second soundbite, and I just try to give you the bites you want. And if I give you enough, you'll find enough that they're in the edit and work.
Everyone who's watching is cursing the journalist that I am right now.
You should come here and give us more interviews about fun things. Yeah,
I know we should.
I have something else you should know.
Okay. What?
I'm trying to think of how to phrase it.
Okay.
I learned a long time ago, make sure brain is in gear before mouth is engaged.
Okay.
And they can edit out the quiet parts. It's really easy to rally people behind a universal enemy. It's really easy to be scared of things you don't understand. Critical thinking takes work. Logic and reason take effort. And because of that, it's really easy to take the lazy way out and be scared. This is why Trump is polling so high. It's not appropriate to just be afraid of smart meters because it's different. Change makes everybody uncomfortable, but it's how we make the world a better place. And smart meters are good technology. Smart meters do not irradiate your dog or give you cancer or any of that stupid stuff. It's an electric meter. It's a really simple box. And we do here, every week, we take things apart and teach people how they work. And we put them on the internet, and they can find video at thegeekgroup.org. You can look us up on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and just type the Geek Group, you'll find hundreds of videos of everything from dinosaurs to all kinds of science and engineering. And one of the big things we do is called equipment autopsies. We've shot lots of them. And one of the ones I would like to do is a smart meter. And if you can get me a smart meter, just a standard brand new smart meter, I want to take one apart on camera. And I don't want any money for it. We'll do it on our set. We'll shoot it with our cameras because we do it very, very well.
Okay.
And I will share this video with the entire world, and people can learn what smart meters actually are, and what's inside them, and how they work, and how they are in no
Let's
way
do it.
dangerous. Give me a smart meter, and you and I can sit on set together right in front of a big autopsy table
Okay.
and take one apart, and I'll teach you everything you ever want to know about how smart meters work.
We need to do that.
You get me one, find a
I
contact.
gotta find a smart
Call
meter.
somebody at consumers, find somebody in your PR department,
Okay.
because you can do that and I can't.
Okay.
But if you get me one, I'd be happy to do it.
Yes. Let's
For
do
anybody
that.
out there, what the fuck are you doing? You're all like, ooh, shiny, this isn't B-roll, motherfucker, I'm talking. You're fired, I'll have your ass. You're gonna end up working at Channel 3. You're going UHF. You're gonna end up on 41. In Kalamazoo. Yeah! It's a great place to be from. Anybody who's interested in learning about the Geek Group should check out thegeekgroup.org.
Okay.
We are open every day from 10 to 7, and we would love people to come down here and learn about science and engineering and smart meters.
Okay, perfect.
For your home.
Okay, yeah, let's definitely do that smart meter.
Alright, so you want some science stuff?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have enough B-roll. He's
Yeah,
over-
we know.
Well,
He just wanted some different angles.
It's alright. I just gotta give him shit about it. 'cause
Shiny things.
nobody else
you don't
talks
get to
to
be
him.
around shiny
He goes
things.
through a whole day, and the only person who talks to him is you. Okay, he's the guy in the background. They're like, oh wow, she's the girl with bright smile and boobs, and I will talk to her. I'm on TV. Hi mom, I'm on the TV. Hi mom, and I just, oh my god.
She's
You
just
could pay me
shaking
enough
her
to do that.
head. Okay, show me some cool stuff.
Okay, this is kind of cool. This is surprisingly relevant.
Okay.
Now, you're a smart person. You went to college and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll bet all the money in my pocket against all the money in your pocket, you don't know what that is. Now this is really cool because it's
I
really...
think you're proving me right.
No, it gets better. It gets better because I'm really going to blow your mind.
Okay.
This is why we're here. That's why I keep this out in the lobby. This is a good example of why we exist.
Okay.
It's really hard to talk in generalizations about people because you're almost always wrong, right? Now watch this. That gentleman there is a nerd, right? He knows about engineering and science and stuff, right? Now watch this. Sir, you have no idea what that is, do you?
Nope.
But you want to, don't you?
Of course.
See? That's it! That's it! Those two generalizations. You don't know what this is, but you want to.
Yeah.
This is a gas meter.
Oh.
Like on the side of your house, this is how it works. You hear that noise?
Yeah.
That's a little air compressor. There's an aquarium pump down in the bottom,
Uh-huh.
and it's pumping air up this little tube on the side. and it goes up into here, and it goes through these valves, and the valves allow the bags, this works like lungs, so the pressure changes and the bags inflate and deflate, right? And they move the little things, and the little things move the valves and let the bags deflate, so it works itself and chooches along.
Okay.
And the air comes out this side over here. If you put your hand right there, you feel the air coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an air engine, like a steam engine.
So if it's a gas meter, then that's
Normally
not...
it's gas coming in this side and gas goes out this side.
Oh, okay.
And what they do is because they know exactly how big, like the volume, how much air you can fit in each one of those lungs, well, then they can measure how many times it fills and empties.
Right.
And that's what this up here is doing, because as you, okay, this moves in and out, and that moves this little arm back and forth. And a little arm turns a little crank, and the crank turns a little gear down here, and you see the little gear?
Yeah.
If you watch it really close for a second, you'll see it's turning. And this, the little crank on the end, would turn the little number counting thing.
Right.
So they can count how many times the bags inflate.
Right.
That's
Cool.
science happening.
Science.
We can show you something cooler than that. Come here. You want giant robots or explosions?
Ooh, I like them both, you pick.
Well, we can do both.
Okay,
Let's
let's
do
do
an
it.
explosion first.
Okay.
Anytime you need a science technology related thing,
You're my guy.
I'm your guy.
Okay,
Come see me.
perfect. I'm so glad you said the thing about the smart meter because I've been trying to find someone to do that.
I'm happy to tear it apart. I haven't got the autopsy one yet, but I can tell you that it's just a meter and they're completely normal. Alright, you know that you've ever blown electricity.
Okay.
Okay? Have you ever blown a fuse? Like a real fuse, not a circuit breaker.
Oh.
Like a real fuse.
No, I don't.
You want to see what happens when it blows?
Yeah.
So what we have here is, ooh, we're gonna use this. I have a piece of spring door screen.
Okay.
Okay, this is just mesh, metal mesh. It's probably steel or maybe aluminum, right?
Okay.
And this is going to be our fuse. And you can see there's nothing here, there's nothing hidden in it, it's just screen.
Right.
Okay. So we'll put the screen right here. We'll load it on the thing. That's our screen.
Okay.
Okay, that's our fuse.
Yeah.
And over here I have this. This is a big power supply. And it's like a super duper battery. It's a capacitor battery.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
scary.
And each one of these, like a AA battery, holds 1.5 volts. Each one of these holds 450 volts. And there's 20 of them on each shelf. There's 160 of them in total. So we're going to get outside of the campus.
Yeah, let's get the safety.
We almost never heard anybody doing this, so you'll probably be fine.
Almost
Now
never is
I'm gonna
not
take
a good
the key.
answer.
I'm going to take the key from the super secret hiding spot.
Okay.
You didn't know this.
Enough.
See? We're going to charge. Now this is cool because you've been talking about electric meter stuff all day.
Right.
And I'm willing to bet you have no idea what a volt, an amp, and a watt actually is.
No, I don't.
You're about to.
But I want to know.
Okay, you're there. Think of electricity like water in a pipe.
Okay.
Okay, because that's an easy thing to visualize.
Right.
Volts is how we measure the pressure of the water.
Okay.
Amps is how big around your pipe is.
Okay.
And volts times amps is watts. Watts is how far we can blast a kid across the parking lot in a fire hose.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they measure energy in watt hours, which is how much work you can do for how long.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So a normal AA battery is 1.5 volts and about 1 amp. So you get about 1.5 watts out of a AA battery.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A car battery is 12 volts at a couple hundred amps.
Right.
A regular wall socket in your house is 120 volts at 15 amps.
Okay.
So you get 1,800 watts out of a wall socket in your house.
Okay.
This is how you know the guy trying to sell you the 5,000 watt amplifier on Craigslist is lying to you. Because there's only 1,800 watts in the wall.
Okay, got it.
In a few moments, you're going to discharge 1,800 volts at 80,000 amps through that piece of metal. That's 144 million watts.
Let's do that.
There's more electrical energy going through that thing out there than every building in the entire city of Grand Rapids is using at that moment combined. You want to look out there, and what's your frame rate?
60.
Okay, really cool. You want to look out there? This is going to be awesome. Now this is what's going to happen. See that?
Yeah.
That is my big red button of science.
I get to press it?
Yes.
With my
your
foot or
Yes, with your foot. So this is what you do. In a moment, you're going to hear this sound. know I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
and I'll say clear to fire. And when I say clear to fire, you step on the button and hold it down until something happens. I
Okay.
promise you'll know when it happens.
Okay.
Don't look at your foot, look out there, because that's where all the cool stuff's going.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Do I
So,
have to press fire on it?
no, you just step down. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. Okay, so you come right up here. You're good? You got a good shot? Okay, you ready? You want to watch out there, because that's where everything happens.
Yep.
And this happens really quick.
Okay.
Clear to fire. Hold it down.
I'm holding it.
Oh, here. Ready? Up. Clear to fire. Go. I pressed the wrong button.
That scared me. I was touching spots.
Is that fun or what?
That's awesome.
It's not every day you get to blow stuff up.
No, that
The
was so
spots
cool.
go away in a couple
I
seconds.
feel like my adrenaline's going. I didn't do anything. I just pressed on the button.
You press the button, we made big boom. You did science right there.
That's really cool.
And now watch this. You, magically at this moment, have a pretty rough idea of what a volt, an amp, and a
I know,
watt
I'm
is.
learning
You just
stuff.
learned
Look
science
at
right there.
that. I know. Never too old to learn, I guess.
You want to see giant robots?
Yes.
See, this is my real job. This is what we do here. It's all about
Coolest.
getting people into science and engineering and electromagnetic fields.
Cool.
We do all of the art around here is original. This is me a million years ago. You group of school kids?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I love hair.
I had hair down in my ass at one point. Oh, the right side did it.
Watch
See
that.
They're
Okay.
installing more
Thanks.
cameras and stuff.
Oh wow.
It never ends.
Is back here, back in Crayon building,
Watch out.
keep up with the robotics case, please.
We have robots. Lots and lots of robots.
What's their name?
This is Justin. That's Andrew.
Okay.
And the little one over here is Heather.
Oh.
But we can move this for you a little bit. Can you run a demo?
So
Thank you. Sorry. Now, you need to back up here because see how you can see the big giant orange robot?
yeah.
It can't see you.
Oh.
And no matter what, the robot is stronger than you. That's a very important thing to remember when working around robots. Even little tiny baby robots, the robot is stronger than you.
Okay.
And that's a robot we're building.
Oh,
This one's getting a paint job right now, which is why it's got like mange. It's half sand robot. That's robot mange. Now, you've seen giant robots like that before, but when you see them, it's on a TV screen.
cool. Right.
You've lived in Michigan for how many years?
A year and a half.
A year and a half, okay. And we're the state that makes cars, so we have a lot of robots, right?
Yeah.
But you've never gotten to see one in person before, have you?
No.
This is the only place in the world where you can just come in off the street, sign up, be a member, and learn how to program that. She did. You can come here and learn how to program 4,000-pound, 12-foot tall robots because
So-
robots are awesome.
Like you came up with programming and just doing what you programmed it to do on its own?
Yeah. She came in here without any idea of how to do this, and now she's doing all this. And she put googly eyes on it.
I love the new
That's working.
Very good one, I might add.
And in the past couple days, the video team hung a camera on top of it.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
see it. Cameras everywhere. That was cool. Thank you so much. That was really
See, you get
awesome.
explosions, you get giant robots. He's like, this is the best fucking
This is
people
the most
ever.
fun day.
This
in
is
the
so
world.
much more fun than the roadside cleanup crew.
I love it. This is gonna be a great piece. I'm obsessed with it.
I know. It's awesome.
I want to be your science guy.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm your
So
local
let's
Bill
start with
Nye.
our smart meter idea.
Sure.
I'm surprised we don't
Get
use
a couple
more
smart
often.
meters. Get a couple smart meters.
And I'm actually
rock out.
really sad and embarrassed that I didn't know about this thing.
Well, tell your friends because the secret to like our entire survival is getting more people in here like back. You want to come learn about science?
Right.
We have no advertising.
Right.
because we need more people to know about the geek group and to get involved and become a member. And it's stupid cheap. For an entire family to sign up a membership,
Yeah.
it's $30 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it's stupid cheap.
Okay. Well, this will be on tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I'll contact customers today to see how I can get a smart meter.
Okay,
And,
try to get 2 of them. And they're not going to get back. We're going to destroy them in the process because we're going to take them apart and like completely apart and see how they work.
Okay.
Come here, I'll show you the studios.
Okay.
You're going to want to follow me.
Okay.
I'll show you the you bring your photog
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to.
and we'll shoot it with our stuff and it'll go out as a full YouTube video. So this is our post-production. We do all of our animation, all of our editing, and in the back is audio. We're building a recording studio 2 doors down right now, but for now audio's back there.
Cool.
And this is all for YouTube videos.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is all with 0 budget. This is where we do the mail. And this is the equipment autopsy set. In fact, here's one relevant to you. We can for remote editing. And this is a gas meter. It'll get taken apart. This is a gyroscope. All kinds of fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. But this is an honest-to-God autopsy table. And you can sit back there side by side with me, and we will take apart a smart meter.
Perfect. That's really
And we've got a whole set for it, and it's awesome.
Okay, that's awesome. Wow, I'm so impressed.
I'm
So
happy
much
to help.
Stuff here. Gosh.
Let me see if I have a card on me.
Yeah, I hope you do because I don't have any on
I don't have one on me at the moment, but I will in a minute.
I have mine.
Step up.
Not that anyone cares, but I do
We
actually.
love you, damn it.
Oh, full circle if you want to see how like, where are you going? Well, thank you so much. That was really fun.
Thank you for
This is
coming
the
down and
most
helping us
fun
help
day I've
test
ever
with
had
you.
at work.
Because there's a lot of people that like thought we were trying to screw with consumers or something like that, and
How did other people know about it?
we broadcast it on the internet.
Oh.
We don't keep secrets here. Not like this.
Also, we need help paying for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So who helped you guys out the most? I mean.
A lot of private donors.
Okay, good. Awesome. So people care.
People do care. Not enough people care, but some people care. I'm gonna get you a card,
Yes.
and we'll get you hooked up.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Thank you.
Yay, it was so awesome meeting you. Thank
It was
you
fun.
so much.
Hi guys. Hi. Are you people yawning? No. I can fix that. All right. So this is my toy box. My name is Chris Boden. I'm a high voltage and high energy physics weirdo, and we're going to play with electricity. Now, normally when we do school groups, we do like the high voltage safety, down power line, all that jazz. But I'm pretty sure I could be wrong in this. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, because it happened once about 1991. I was wrong for a moment. Are you guys really sick of people talking to you like you're stupid just because you're young?
Yes.
So I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to waste half an hour teaching you that down power lines are not a good thing to touch, because all of you are smart enough to understand that stupid hurts, right? Okay, cool. So how about if we just blow stuff up and put it in high voltage?
Yes.
See, I thought that might work. Now, to do this, because I actually am going to play with down power line, I'm going to put on my big rubber gloves of science. Now, these aren't so much for safety. I grew up on a dairy farm, so this is like a comfort thing. Alright. Now, you guys have seen these before out on telephone poles. Yeah. Do you know what a transformer does? It does transform, yes. This is an Autobot, this is a Decepticon. Light it up. Now, these two are wired in series. Each one's good for 100,000 watts. And in series, let me know what we can do with 100,000 watts. And that was 30,000 volts. Let's see what we can do with something bigger. Who was it that was yawning? Somebody yawned really loud. Was it you? Or was it God? It was
This guy Isaiah. This guy.
It's Isaiah. It's Isaiah. This guy right here. Who? Me? Yes. Isaiah. Hey, Marco. Come here.
I didn't yawn. That was this guy.
Alright, so you're Isaiah? Alright, you're gonna stand right here. That's my big red button of science. Okay, now I almost never pick guys for this. I like picking girls for this because guys like to kill the damn button. Okay, so in a minute, you're gonna get to push that. When you push it, there's a couple things to remember. Okay, one, don't curb stop my button. Because that ain't my first button, and those are $8 a piece. And I will cry in your field.
Okay.
Also, I'm the guy who throws lightning around the room. On the list of people you don't want to mess with, I'm like number 2. Okay, because lightning and explosions. Alright. Who here do we trust?
You?
Who is the most trustworthy person?
Pedro! Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez?
Right there.
Yes.
What?
Oh yeah, Pedro. Alright, see that? Now we're all going to trust you. Careful, this is sharp as hell. But this is a piece of aluminum mesh. Okay, and there's nothing hidden in there. There's no secret pockets of explosives or capsules or anything. You can see right through it, right? Yes. All right. See, and everybody trusts Pedro because he's cool. Wow. All right. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to load this right here. Here's the mesh. We're going to load it right here on the test stand. Now, is your science teacher here with you?
No.
All right. How many of you raise your hand if you know what a volt, an amp, and a watt actually is? Like what those words mean? Nobody.
One.
One guy. See, what's a volt? Alright, this is the guy who was too stupid to lie.
See, he's the one that actually yawned.
Alright. Now, I'm going to take the key. I'm going to take the key from my super secret hiding spot.
Wow, that's super cool.
Hey, you didn't know it was there.
Yeah. Now I know.
Yeah, you want to harass me? Well, I just put a key in a box and turned it to arms, so whatever's going to happen after this is probably going to be exciting. Okay, now, pay attention, you're going to like this. Think of electricity like water in a pipe. Volts are how we measure the pressure of the water, okay? Amps is how thick your pipe is, how much water you actually have going by. And watts is volts times amps. Watts is how far we can blast Pedro across the parking lot with a fire hose. That's what watts is, okay? A regular AA battery has 1.5 volts at 1 amp, so you get about 1.5 watts out of a AA battery. A car battery is about 12 volts at a couple hundred amps. A regular wall socket in your house is 120 volts at 15 amps, so you get about 1,800 watts. This is actually important to you because this is how you know the guy on Craigslist trying to sell you the 5,000 watt amplifier is lying to you. There's only 1,800 watts in the wall. You can't have a 5,000 watt home theater amplifier. Because I turned the button on. In a moment, when you press that button, sir, you're going to discharge 1,800 volts. That's over 10 times the wall outlet. At 100,000 amps, which gives us or 80,000 amps, which gives us 144 million watts. So for about 3,000 to the second, you're going to discharge more energy than every single building in the entire city of Grand Rapids is using at that moment combined. It's pretty bad.
Okay,
Alright, so this is how it's going to work. You're going to hear this sound 3 times in a row. Then I'm going to touch you on the shoulder so that you know I'm talking to you, and I'll say clear to fire. When I say clear to fire, you look out there and step on the button and hold it down until something happens. You'll know when it happens. Okay?
I get shot.
You probably won't get hurt at all. It almost never happens. Alright, everybody ready? You want to watch out there? Clear to fire. It's perfect smoke ring. loud sound. What you just experienced was about 6 inches of thunderbolt. So that was actually thunder at very close range. It's kind of cool. So this is what I do. This is why math is important. We get to do engineering, blow stuff up every day. And this, by the way, totally legal. You can build one of these and put it in your garage and make friends with all your neighbors.
This is so exciting.
All right, everybody follow me. We're going to.
Oh, come on.
What?
You can see something else explode.
That's what I got.
That's okay.
If you want to see something explode, build one.
All right,
Everybody follow me.
Hey, I got shot. I felt like I got shot.
IRC, please put us on lobby camera, please. IRC, put us on lobby camera. That is on the roof. Moose,
Yeah, we'll be back.
all right, thank you. Okay,
So that'll be.
so we're gonna wait a minute. This is gonna change.
Yes, that's fine. Sorry. Yeah, that's fine.
So this is where we get to do something interesting.
All right. Have a look.
How soon are you gonna be able to change?
Done.
Oh, you did. Thank you. All right. We got audio on lobby. Thank you, sir. All right. At this moment, can you put us on the other camera? Can you put us on, or do you want to spin that one around? All right.
Where do you want it?
Back in the corner. I want to get some crowd. That just me. Huh? Yeah, that's called video feedback.
Hi. It fell over when I leaned on it.
I could have so much fun.
Don't even.
All right, now sit down, or I will have you paid.
Thank you, gentlemen.
If it continues, I will have you peeled, salted, and dragged through the street like Barbary games. All right, so this is where you guys get to do something pretty awesome. You've just toured the entire building. You've seen every lab in here, from rockets and airplanes to robots to explosions and all the cool stuff we do. And at this moment, I have no idea who any of you are. I have no control over who any of you are. You could be rich kids, you could be West Side factory rat kids, you could be anything in between. There's no control over this at all, and it actually doesn't matter to me in the slightest. At this moment, we are all on live television that is broadcast around the world. This isn't just like Channel 13 or something like this. This is every human on Earth with an internet connection can tune in. They can see and hear everything in real time. You'll notice there's no tape delay. There isn't like a 5-second delay in case I say but or something like that. Okay, so it's right out there. It's absolutely raw. Also at this moment, there's a wonderful woman in the back who is totally not texting on her phone.
I wasn't. I was checking the time.
And she's holding a camera that's recording to YouTube, and that will go out unedited. So everything I say and everything you say goes on the internet instantly and permanently. And I have no control over this situation. I have no notes, no prep, no net. And I'm going to do the dumbest possible thing anybody with my job can do. Because I'm not just the high voltage guy here, I'm actually the president and founder of the Geek Group, which makes me the president and founder of a multi-million-dollar national nonprofit organization. And you guys are about to have the ultimate power on Earth. You get to ask me absolutely anything you want, and there are no rules. The reason for this is, I'm trying to teach you a fundamental lesson that doesn't really get taught in schools very much. The ability to ask questions and demand evidence of people in authority. Because if you can learn to do that here, you will learn to do that other places. And someday, God help us, you're all going to vote. And that matters a great deal to me. So, what do you want to know? You can ask anything about me or the Geek Group or anything of the stuff that you've seen. Everything we do here, you can ask anything you want. Go.
What college did you go to?
Huh?
What college did you go to?
I went to Grand Valley. I did not graduate. 40. Yeah. Go. Thank you. Who said that? You did? You are my friend today. Go.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? 5'10" on a good day. That was tall when I was a kid, man. My dad's 5'8", my mom was like 4'11". I spent my whole life reaching stuff off the top shelf. Now I'm short. I got a building full of guys that are like 6'4". World eats better now or something. Next. Go.
Alright, so if you never graduated college, how did you become like the head of all this?
I started the company when I was 18. This whole thing started because I was a nerd engineering kind of guy, like the super nerd in class, the guy that sits at that table in the lunchroom, the guy that gets beat up at homecoming, that's me. Okay. And I hung out with a bunch of guys like that, and we liked to build stuff, and we were smart, so we knew how to build things, and we figured it out. And we built really, really cool toys, like a lot of the stuff that you guys saw today. And I couldn't be the biggest guy, or the fastest guy, or the most badass cool dude with the awesome car, but I could make explosions, and I could build go-karts that were powered by parachutes and race them across campus. And that gets a crowd. And that gets girls. And if you find a way to cross being a super nerd with something that actually gets you girls, you go with that. You just keep doing more of that. And now we have 13 million viewers. We got members all over the world. We got e-group members in 160 countries. And now, we've done this my whole life and built this place. And the whole reason this place is here is not so that you can have an awesome field trip. The reason this place is here is so that you can come here and build anything you can imagine. If you want to build rockets and robots, cool. If you want to build a go-kart, anything you want. There's more tools in this building right now that you can use than they have for sale at Home Depot. So, once you realize that, how old are you guys? What's the base age in here? 13?
14.
14, okay.
Alright.
In the United States, at 18, you can legally start your own company. That's when everything changes, because 18, right? So, this is the point where you have an abundance of free time and an absolute minimum of responsibilities. How many of you guys have like a house payment you gotta make right now? Car payment? See, nobody, right? This is awesome because you can leverage this. Now is when you learn how to program giant robots. Because then you graduate high school and you can skip college and go right into, let's make $100,000 a year as a professional robotics engineer. You can do that because you have the time now to learn these things. With all of the stuff we have in this building, you have the ability to make not just like a project or something like this. You have the ability to invent the next big thing and start your own company. And you can do that here because we don't care if you're 14 or not. You can start a company using all of my tools. And once you figure that out, once you realize that the guys who invented the cell phones aren't gods, and that you're smart enough to do this stuff, that you can build anything you set your mind to, because I will give you all the tools to do it, then the only thing that stops you right now from being a millionaire by your 25th birthday is the dumbass excuses you keep telling yourself. As we walked out of the high voltage lab, it was one of you guys, I don't remember which one, so we walked out of there, I was like, build one. It was you. It was you. I was like, build one. I was like, no man, I can't, I'm too lazy. That's the bullshit excuse. It's going to keep you from being a millionaire by 25. And that's it. Next question. She's just going to sit there and smile at me, and I don't know why I'm scared. She's sitting back there with this look like, I know where the knives are. This thing allows me to cheat the entire system. Because you can't speak in generalities about people. You can't. You can't say like, all people hate Iran, or anything like that, or all Muslims are evil. Because whenever you talk in generalities about anybody, you're almost always wrong. And now that I've said that, I'm going to prove myself wrong. Watch this. Nobody in here, not one of you, from radically different lives, not one of you knows what this is, do you?
No.
But, hit me. Do you?
Carburetor?
No, but that's one of the best guesses I've ever gotten. And he fixed this stuff. He was the one I was worried about because he might have known it. Not one of you knows what this is. There's my first generality. Here's my second. You want to, don't you?
Yes.
See? Isn't that cool? learn. This, here, I'll give you a hint. You ready? Oh, it moves. It does stuff. It's not a clock. You want to try another stab at that? Air compressor. No. There's an air compressor down in the bottom that's powering it.
Something with sound.
This, you have all seen thousands and thousands of them. All of you have one on the side of your house. It's a gas meter. Yeah! This is that little gray box on the side of your house with the numbers on it. This is what's inside it. Yeah. Most people, almost every time I get somebody saying, it's an iron lung. Iron lungs are like huge. They put people in it. But this is a gas meter. It's just a really nifty bit of engineering. I got one. I like taking things apart. How many of you like taking stuff apart? See how it works. See, this is totally, yeah. We have a video series of, like, ridiculous, there's like 100 of them. Videos of taking things apart to see how they work. And it's some stuff's like gas meters or like a toaster, we did a toaster. So like, we took a forklift apart. A whole forklift. We're doing one on a World War II tank coming up. And just all kinds of weird stuff. We did a guidance system out of a missile. Took one apart to see how it works. That got me in a lot of trouble. Next question. Go.
Why do you have an air hockey table?
Why not? I mean, I could give you the official answer of like, well, we use it for physics demonstrations because you start with an infinite frictionless plane and you can talk about Newtonian mechanics and things like that. But really, we got one because I was able to get it really cheap and they're a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, you can learn science and physics. Like, if you want the best lesson in inelastic collisions and geometry ever, learn how to play pool. Science applies to everything. Everybody, how many people in here suck at math? How many people in here hate math? Raise your hand if you hate math. Okay? Now, watch this. Pick any branch of science, it all ends in math. Every single one. Chemistry goes to physics, goes to math. And this goes to like any science or engineering field you can think of, it all ends in math. How many people here like playing cards? Okay, any kind of cards, like gambling. Okay, guess what? It's all math. Yeah, how about that? Next, hit me. Go.
What made you start, what made you start
You know the kid in your class that asks too many questions and makes it hell for the entire class and like annoys the teacher? I was that kid. I wanted to know why. I wanted to know how it worked. Everything. For a lot of people, a car is a magical thing that you put gas in one end and sometimes oil in the other hand, and you just drive it until it doesn't go anymore, and then you pay somebody a lot of money to fix it. I think that's dumb. I want to know how things work, because if you figure that out, you can fix things. You can do stuff that other people can't. When I was a kid, a lot of people grew up thinking that, like, you know, they just pick a TV, or pick a hero on TV. My hero was MacGyver, because nerd. And it's a lot different now. When I was a kid, you got beat up for being a nerd. And then it turns out that computer thing caught on, and now everybody's got one. And nowadays, we all carry a magic square around in our back pocket. This is more powerful than the computers they used to put a man on the moon. Really, it is. You'd be amazed what you can do with a cell phone. And now it's normal. Now it's an average, everyday thing. And I had a lot of trouble in school because of that, because school was boring. Well, I figured something out. School has it backwards. Think of what school actually is for you. School is a push system. Sit down, shut up, we're going to push things into your brain. Like it or not, this is what we're doing today. And you need that. You need that to be able to function in a basic civilized society. You have to learn the fundamentals. But the next step beyond that, it's backwards. Because how people actually learn is a pull system. How many of you have a smartphone? Raise your hand if you have a smartphone. Okay? Now, when you got your phone, you open the box, there was a book in there, wasn't there? Came a little book, about as thick as my finger. Came with a book. Ain't none of you read the book, did you? Nobody reads the book. Because you got a toy, you got a thing, you figured it out, right? Because you're smart, you're not stupid, you'll figure it out. It's not that hard, it's there. That's how people actually learn. It's a pull system. So my job isn't to hold your hand and take you step by step through here's how you program a robot. My job is to say, there's a big robot. You think it's cool? Okay, maybe you don't. But if you do, maybe you want to learn how to program. If you do, it's your responsibility to make your choice to learn how to program the robot. I'll give you all the books, I'll give you everything you need, I'll let you play with the giant robot, and I will trust you to not violate the 2 rules that exist. You're not allowed to kill yourself, you're not allowed to kill the robot. That's it. If you want to put a racing seat on the end of a robot and swing it around and make a robo-coaster, you can do that. I don't care. But you have to want it. You have to be self-directed. And that's hard. The only thing that's harder than that is his job. Because he has to get you to sit down, shut up, and actually pay attention so that you can be smart enough to learn how to program giant robots. I can't do that. He's tougher than I am. Give me a question. Anything you want.
What's the hardest program you've ever programmed, like hard coding? What's
Like
the biggest
coding?
thing? Yeah. What's the biggest thing you've ever, like the biggest coding project you've ever done?
Biggest coding project, we've got 2 giant ones that we're working on right now. One is Boxy, which is taking a smart building to the next level, like super genius building. And the idea is like, okay, throughout this building there's 180 cameras. And right now, the person who is in control of all of those cameras is not only not in this building, they're not in this continent. Master control at this moment is being run by either Mark in Australia or Sparky in Wales. And everything in this building is not only being internet enabled, but it's at the global level. So like, by the end of this year, God and funding willing, by the end of this year, you would be able to, as a member of the Geek Group in Bangladesh, turn the lights off in this room at night. And we're taking that to everything. The lights and locks and security systems and cameras and be able to turn this thing on. And we've already done testing with it and it's working great. The Boxy system goes beyond just building because it allows us to computer control heating and cooling and stuff like that. This matters because we're talking about tens of thousands of dollars a year that we can save by doing this. But it's also stuff like controlling administrative sides of membership tracking and community service hours and stuff like that. And we're building this whole giant infrastructure of software, and it's all modular. Like you might need donation tracking or inventory control or member tracking, stuff like that. And we're providing it absolutely free and open source to every nonprofit makerspace on Earth. Just here. All of the nightmare of administrative stuff and the software that individually these things cost thousands of dollars. Just here. Go build a makerspace, teach kids about science, make the world a better place.
So you're potentially foregoing a lot of money for the good.
There's more important things in the world than money.
That's right.
That's why you became an educator.
That's right. That's right.
If you wanted to make money, this ain't the line of work.
I could have stopped in high school at welding.
Yeah. You know what? Here's one for you guys. I want you to think about this. You know what a good, like a serious top-shelf welder makes? Not a brain surgeon, a welder. Okay, dude who just welds metal. You know what a top-shelf welder makes today? It's $150,000 a year. Really. Skilled trades are amazingly well paid. How many times have you seen a plumber on television and he was like the butt of the joke, right? He's a punchline. You know what plumbers make? As much as they want, because you don't want to work up to your elbows in poo. When your basement is flooded in poo, he walks in and like, I'll fix it. Let's go. He'll drive home stinking all the way to the bank. They make a lot of money. It's a great way to make a living. The other big software thing we have is we're working on an open source command and control software system for dispatching fire and emergency gears. Because the computers that cops carry, the MDTs and that, garbage.
Yeah.
They're terrible. And they cost ridiculous amounts of money because of the liability. This is bad and easy to fix. And somebody has to stand up and say, I can do this. So they hide under our umbrella and I eat the liability, and we can make the world a better place. This is how the kid that gets beat up at homecoming gets to go on and actually change the world in a tangible way. Because every firefighter spends every day meeting people who are having the worst day of their life. And I want to help those people.
And the time that you save on the dispatch,
Yeah.
the human there.
It saves lives. So it's kind of cool. Nerds get to save lives. Any other questions? You can ask anything you want. I've gotten boxers of briefs. Go.
Is it possible to make a street that you control from the outside for like air?
Yes. And you can do it here. We have had people build things like that here. In fact, we've had somebody build an Iron Man suit for Comic-Con. He had to build it 4 inches at a time, because the 3D printers only go about that big. But you sand it, you glue it, you make a piece, and stack it up. But yeah, you can build that stuff. I've been working on building a Terminator arm. You remember the arm from Terminator? It's just metal. It's just a prop. They made it for a movie. I want to have a Terminator arm. Like in the display maybe. I'm weird. Next question. You can build anything you can imagine here. There's no limits to it. If you need a tool that we don't have, we'll get it. How much time do we have?
About 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes? Okay. Got any questions?
Sure. What is the most dangerous project that you've done here?
That I've ever done?
Yeah.
I built a jet-powered street luge. Yeah. How many people don't know what a street luge is? Okay, it's like a skateboard that you lay down on. Okay? And
It's like ice vision on walls.
Yeah. And it's in the other room. And you can buy, because we live in the future, you can buy electric jet engines that are like this big around, about that big, for a couple $100. I spent like, I think $200 a piece on it. I put 2 engines on the back of this. It makes 20 pounds of thrust, which is a lot. Because, take a skateboard and take a big bag of dog food. Those are 20 pounds. Tie a string from the bag of dog food to the skateboard and throw it off a 3rd floor balcony. How fast does a skateboard go? With 20 pounds of thrust? It's fast. So we take this and we take, you can buy batteries today, the LiPo batteries, and you can buy big LiPos. Mine are about this big square and about that long. They're the size of a brick. They weigh like 5 pounds a piece. I stack 4 of them together, run them through 4 100 amp ESCs into 4 100 amp jet luge motors, and we put it all on a street luge. And these are designed for jet-powered model airplanes, like really big model airplanes. And we take them way out of town on a big straight flat road, and give her what for, and it's 18,000 watts of battery power. And it goes from 0 to oh my dear God in like 30 seconds, and it's a fun time. And I ran out of huevos before I ran out of throttle. And yeah, that's probably the most dangerous one, like for me personally, because I'm old, and I'm not a big burly guy. On a tin pan, doing what for down a road in the middle of cow country with no brakes. The brakes are you just put your feet down and hope for the best. Steering is like a skateboard. You just lean. Okay, so one good fart, you're in a ditch. And yeah, it's time, man. And that's an active ongoing thing. We're still testing that. And that's real science. Because you build this thing, people built jet-powered street luges before. There's like a dozen of them on Earth. Nobody had ever built an electric one. They all ran on like aviation fuel and stuff. I built an electric one. The thing with electric ones is you flip a switch and it's all go right down! And you don't know how fast it's going to go. And you don't know what it's going to do. You're like, I got math. And the math says you'll probably be okay. Doing 60 miles an hour with your butt 2 inches off a giant cheese grater. You'll be fine! It's going to be alright. You'll be fine. And you put on a helmet and some old jeans and a leather jacket and give her what for, man. That's science. That's real science because you don't know. That's awesome. That's the best. Any other questions? You guys are so mellow. You're so chill. It freaks me out. That it? We got like 5 minutes. You do everything.
Have you built anything with the speed of light? Built anything that can move at the speed of light?
I have built things that move at the speed of light. Yes. Photons and electromagnetic waves. That's pretty much the only thing that moves at the speed of
I
light.
wish you could harness that.
Yeah, we have a laser lab downstairs, so we play with a lot of fun light things. And a big part of what I do is high voltage. So I play with electron beams and stuff like that. And we've gotten to do some fun stuff. Not nearly the speed of light, but the speed of, oh my dear God, we're all going to die, is, I didn't show it today because we're doing upgrades on it, but we build Tesla coils, which is a machine that makes lightning. What you saw was Thumper. We made about that much of a lightning bolt. But we have a big version of that, big version, that makes a 20-foot long thunderbolt. And it isn't like boom, it's like wah! And it's like the finger of God. It's just instantly terrifying to people who aren't accustomed to it. The weird thing is, after working here for years, you actually get bored with a machine that generates 2.5 million volts and throws a 20-foot lightning. For those of you that aren't familiar with how far 20 feet is, 20 feet is about from me to the wall. It's about 20 feet. So what you saw today was 6 inches. Yeah, so 20 feet. It'll make you feel like you're not expecting it. This has happened. It's kind of fun. Izzy's fine. He's got this. He was just like, that's enough. I did bigger than that in my garage. We got anything else? Are we cool? Go. Yes, it does. Mr. Bellatini, can I have you to the lobby immediately, please? Mr. Bellatini, to the lobby. I happen to have on staff a paleontologist. And if you're into dinosaurs, you want to check out a video series called Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong. Because it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. It's a children's show that does not treat you like you're an idiot. Which is hard to come by. I was talking a little bit ago about how all science ends at math. Okay, like math gives us physics, gives us chemistry, gives us biology, right? This young gentleman here asked an interesting question that is more your world than mine. How does paleontology end in math? This is Mr. Bellatini, our resident paleontologist. He's the guy in the videos.
So, I mean, there's the entire element of paleontology is utterly dependent on geology. So that requires math just to figure out, you know, this sediment was laid down this number of years ago. If you want to reliably date something rather than saying, like, it's pretty intuitive that if something's deeper in the ground, it was probably there before the things that are above it. It's just how dirt works. But if you want to drill down and say, well, this is exactly this old, you're going to need to extract an isotope from it.
14.
Carbon doesn't go old enough for dinosaurs. We need argon or something much slower to decay. But you use math to figure out, hey, the ratio of this to that tells us approximately how old this was within some level of confidence. That's why a few years back, see, when I was your age, dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. Now we know it's closer to 66 because we have better measurements of how fast argon decays, and we can get a more accurate measurement.
He's smart.
There's parts of math when you're trying to figure out, like for the T-Rex, if you want to figure out what its caloric needs were, you're going to go in and actually dissect the fossilized poop and figure out, based on how their bones are structured, what it's going to need to take in every day to be able to grow. There's math there. There's math if you want to figure out how something walks. You need to put it into the computer, calculate. Figuring out how that particular animal was muscled is a lot of educated guesswork, but you can test your theory using physical models, which is all comes down to algorithms. Just basic statistics of figuring out your faunal assemblages of any given formation. You're going to say, well, there's this number of Triceratops and this number of Montosaurus and this number of Tyrannosaurus, which, as it happens, Triceratops far outnumbers anything else in that guy's formation. And that tells you about the food web in that area.
So there's about 10,000 different things, and he could go on like that for an hour and a half. You really can. It's fun to watch him shoot a video. Thank you, sir. He also hates food. I was pretty impressed that I got him out here in front of a group of people. That took doing. But yeah, that answer your question? He's really smart. Go.
So you're live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now. In fact, you want to see something cool? Ed, give me an IRC feed. You guys want to see something that'll just totally freak you out? Okay. What's your name? Eduardo. Okay. Hey, IRC, can everybody say hi to Eduardo, please, and give me a roll call? So he's going to bring up the IRC, which is our Internet Relay chat room, which is right here. IRC, give me a roll call, and everybody say hi to Eduardo. Good luck on spelling that. Let's see how bad they butcher your name. Okay. So, Denmark, Missouri, they've been watching and listening to everything we've said in here. Poland, Middlesex, Mississauga, Ontario, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Belgium. Ooh, you get 3 Ds today. You got a bonus D today.
Can they spell my name right?
Huh?
Can they spell my name?
Pedro?
No. Isaiah.
You're
That's
Pedro. You're Izzy. Okay. Isaiah's easy.
Yeah. Can I spell it?
Isaiah?
Yeah.
I-S...
Nope.
I-Z? You spell Isaiah easy. Oh, that's cool. See, right? Hey guys, how many people can spell Isaiah? Apparently with a Mexican twist. So these guys hang out and they do stuff all day long. This is people just like you, all over the world. In fact, when we do the video shoots where we do equipment autopsies and take things apart, we let people know in advance that we're going to do that. And they can hang out in here and watch on the live stream. So you guys could be in a classroom across town watching us do a live video shoot, the teardown or something, and ask questions while we're actually taking it apart. And we get to answer those questions live, and then they get recorded and go out on YouTube. It's kind of cool. How are we on time? You gotta go? All right. Thank you everyone for coming.
In the seventh circle of hell, sinners must endure a soulful rendition of Old Man River for all eternity. In the seventh circle of hell, sinners must endure New Age music for all eternity. In the seventh circle of hell, sinners must endure Joe Biden for all eternity. Don't bring your wife.
I'd rather take the hot pokers to the ass for $5,000.
In the seventh circle of hell, sinners must endure the Care Bear stare for all eternity. I'm going with Joe Biden.
Fuck yeah, he is.
All right, gentlemen.
What?
Today's Captain's Blog was brought to you by Brad Wilmot. Yes.
Brad.
Two.
What?
But,
Blind Brad, right?
yeah, Blind Brad Wilmot. In fact, I'm going to do something cool with the title card today. You're such a horrible person.
We all are. We truly are.
Also, I want to thank Joe. Is that right? God, I can't read it. Oh, shit. I wrote it on my hand hours ago. I gotta look it up.
They jerked off twice and I can't read it.
Oh, I don't jerk off with my left hand. It confuses me.
That's called a stranger.
Yeah?
It's only if you sit on it until it goes no.
What?
Just depends on which side I'm laying on.
Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children.
Oh shit. That's gotta be a winner. It's got to, huh? It's gotta. It's gotta!
One more coming in.
I was just going to play a song, but I can't play songs.
Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children soup that is too hot.
So you're monitoring IRC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's John Cooper. I want to thank John Cooper who's in for $10. John Cooper's in the Patreon for $10. If you're interested in supporting Brad Wilmot, John Cooper, if you're interested in supporting the Captain's blog and the madness, mayhem, and mischief that goes on here and all that jazz, please check out the link in the description. Get in on it. I could use your help. So, here's the project. 2 issues. 1, I boat, like my boat. This little toy is my boat. Okay, that boat, that's for sale. That's for money boat. But this is my boat. There are many like it, but this one is mine. I boat exclusively, really, with a couple very small exceptions, in the Grand River. That's what I like, because there's no waves, there's negligible traffic, it's just chill. I just want to go out and chill. And because I work a ridiculous amount of hours in a week, I can only boat in the evenings. So I go out, and usually I go out and it's like very nearly sunset. I come back and it's dark. So I got 2 problems. 1, I boat in a river where the water's always moving, and at a lot of the low-rent places that I put in, they don't even have docks. And even if they do have docks, the river's moving across. So you have to bring the boat in, and it's moving, which makes getting onto the trailer problematic at best and bloody near impossible at worst. So I got these cheap on Amazon. These are like low budget, but they're cool. And they're really inexpensive, and we'll see how they work. But they're trailer guide rollers, and what this does is this bolts to the trailer frame, and it's a big rubbery roller bit. So you come in and you bounce off these a little bit, and off you go. What I don't know is how tight I should have these. I got a good 4 inches here, and should I have this like right up, like maybe an inch, or should I leave them back this far? I don't know. Those of you who know more about boats than I do, please advise. Here's the other problem. A couple days ago, I went all the way downtown, which was an ordeal because I had to put in a Veterans Park. It's the closest boat launch to downtown. And from Veterans Park by river to downtown, to where I turned around, was 5 1/8 miles. Okay. Which was awesome, but incredibly time consuming because the river's high, it's moving very fast, and low budget, I have a 4 horsepower motor. Shut up, it's what I got. I have a 4 horsepower motor. I desperately need a 10 horsepower motor. And if you want to get me something awesome for my birthday, I would love a 10 horsepower 4-stroke outboard motor. Oh my God, would that be amazing in this boat. 10 horsepower, 4-stroke. 2-stroke sucks. But I got 4. And it's enough to get upstream. It's even enough to get upstream in rather fast-moving water. It took me 2.5 hours to get from where I started upstream to downtown. By the time I got there, it was very dark. And Veterans Park, the boat launch there, it's a little tiny low-rent thing. They don't even have the dock out yet. They probably will in a month or so. But by the time I got back, it's dark, and you're well outside of town. There's no street lights, there's nothing. It's black as hell. And to get from downtown to there with high, fast river, you have to go under the highway, 2 train bridges, a couple pedestrian bridges, and you cannot see these after dark in the river. It sucked. So I was a little puckered. Not gonna lie, I was a little puckered coming back. So I found that you can get on Amazon and you can get impressively badass lights for $10 a piece. $10. They're cheap. Not as cheap as your girlfriend, but they're cheap. And I'm digging that. So I got 4 of them, and they're pretty badass. I mean, yeah, they're Yumcha Gualong Ding Dong lights, but I mean, they're okay. So I got 4 of them. And I'm gonna put 2 on the back, like way back, like back here. And I'm gonna angle them, I'm gonna put the mounts on backwards so that you can angle them down more than up. That really wouldn't be putting them on backwards on the mount. No, that's backwards on the mounts because I'm angling them down, not up. And I'm going to adjust them so that the light coming off of them, like I don't know what the angle is, and I won't until I fire them up. I don't know what the light angle is coming out. They might, like, judging by these, the light probably goes out about at that angle and down to about there, because I'm just going by the reflectors. But I'm going to set these so they look pretty much horizontal and down, because I don't want to be a dick and like blind people while out on the water. But these are cool, and they will help with visibility. And I got looking on the internet, and I found that you can get lights that go underwater. Like you can put lights down here, and they're these little puck LED things, and they're for boats. You know, boats. They're not for boats. They're for boats. The kind of boats that there's a wine and cheese course happening on the boat, or lots of naked chicks and cocaine. Could go either way. So these lights are like $300 a piece for a little puck light. So I'm going to make some of my own because they look pretty cool, and I like the idea of having underwater lights, and you just create like a glow around the vessel, which would be really badass with something like this, because every now and then I like to go out to Grand Haven and Grand Haven and Spring Lake, where there's a lot of other boat traffic, there's a lot of other boats, it's after dark, people don't see me that well. I mean, yeah, I've got my little light on a stick. You can see it tucked in there, stowed away. But I got my requisite light on a stick, and I got my little bow lights, but they're really big boats, and I don't want to die that way. So I like the idea of having like underwater lights that create a glow around. And these will allow me to see docks at night to be able to get back into dock. So I like that. So a whole $40, and now here's the funny part. I got $10 lights, right? $10 lights. But I work at the Geek Group. So to go with my $10 lights, now I'd like to point out all of this is stock stuff. Any members could be using this. You could come here and do exactly this. I got some fuses, because you want to have, because the lights go through the rail, and I'm going right off a car battery, so you want to have it properly fused. So I got my DIN rail mounted fuses here, and I got my switches. So I've got main power, and this is my nav lights, which that's the bow light and the stern light. And then boop, 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 front and rear, left and right, left, right. And there's my lights. And I got room for something else. I don't know what. We'll see. Comment with ideas. What should go there? And then down on the bottom, little voltmeter. Yeah, and Batman put this together. He's been tinkering on this today. I wanted to give him a chill day because he's had a pretty hard week, and they're about to have a really hard week coming up. So I was like, hey, I got a little project you could help me with. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, cool. So he rocked out on this. Batman did this, and it's good work. I'm proud of him. Look at that, nice mounts there. It'll seal up good. And so this is going to sit back here, right on the side. I'm going to like bolt it right down here, or maybe some body tape or something, but I'm going to affix it here, and there will be one plug to the battery, and then the motor will power off the box, so it'll just go right through the box. So that gets these, I got to replace these with just a plug, a trolling motor plug, which is no big deal. I got to get a better trolling motor. This thing's cool, but it's really underpowered. It's an old 18 pounds of thrust little, it's a whisper guide. It's got 5 speeds. I don't know why you would need 5 speeds. I just crank it over and give her what for, and off you go. But this is an old one. I wonder how old this is. I don't have any idea. I'm guessing, just from the look of it, 90s, maybe 80s. Maybe 80s. But it runs great. It's cool. It's just horrifically underpowered. And my only real complaint with it is I'm missing the top for the little release thing here. This, you push this down, you can see its tooth, and it releases that. And this thing is hell on the fingers. But aside from that, she's great. I spent entirely too much time today painting this for Mitch, but it's beautiful. And I even did the grate below because Mitch was complaining about how hard it is. It's a real bitch to paint open grate. You get like 90% of your paint is just overspray and dry fall. But it's good. I might put another coat on it. Because I had, yeah, there's a spot there. At one point I grabbed the wrong can and ended up putting primer on it. as a second or third coat somewhere, so I'll just hit that hard. Cool. So that's that. We got a big donation in today. Lots of computer stuff. I'll show you some of that. I spent a lot of time doing demos and events and stuff, and I didn't get to shoot as much of the actual stuff going on as I would have liked. Oh wow, I used to have one of those. I used to have one of these in the car. Like a million years ago, I had one of these in Clio. I had one of these in Clio. And a burner. 200 gig. Okay. With the FireWire. 2 different flavors of FireWire and USB. Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh, neat. Oh, what do we got here? What is that? Is that a 5? Palm V. Looks like a V. Let's see. Yeah! Palm 5. 3Com era. Does it work? Nah, battery's been dead for years. That's cool. So just, oh, we got phones. Let's take a look at this. Oh, yeah. Now you're styling. Oh, you wish you could be this cool. It's got a 5 megapixel camera. Damn. Let's see what else we got in here. Let's look around. What is this? It's just a mouse pad. Okay. Oh, hey, is that a modem? Looks like a modem. It's a fax finder. Get it? There's your clever marketing name. Focus, you fuck. Oh, God. It's a fax finder. So it's a dual modem. Oh, hey, what are you? JBL iPod speaker stand and charger. Has an audio in. Oh, so you can use it as a little amplifier. Okay. That's cute. So we got, what are you? Oh, it's a battery. Mac battery. Charge? State of charge is fucked. Let's not set that in there. So we got iPod. Is that the same iPod I had a minute ago? I don't know. I'm just digging. What are you? What the fuck is that? HP spare. It looks and feels like a battery. It is a battery. It's a notebook battery. Okay, is that a weird base station or something? We got... Let's get right down in here. We got a phone. Motorola something or other. I don't know Motorola models very well. What are you? Is that a BlackBerry? No, it's Motorola. Okay. Motorola something or other with a, it just says megapixel. Doesn't even say how many. Extended battery. Yeah, you. Oh, wow, that's... Now you're cool. Look at that. Oh, yeah, you're badass now. That's cool. This is an LG 1.3 megapixel digital camera phone. This is trying really hard to be a camera more than a phone. Palm. Phone. Oh yeah, the pinnacle. Look at that. I miss my old iDen phone. I used to love the Motorola with the walkie-talkie phones. I loved the walkie-talkie feature. I wish I could do that on my Android. I want a walkie-talkie feature on my Android. I like these because I loved flip phones because the whole Star Trek communicator mojo. I mean that really was the 20th, early 21st century technology of we've made Star Trek happen. You know, I got my first flip phone, which was nowhere near this sleek and tiny, but I got my first flip phone and just, yeah. And then they shrank down to like the StarTAC, which I think was about as small as they really got. I'm sure there's a couple that are out there that are smaller, but the StarTAC was the one where, for most of the world, that was as small as they got. And then now they're getting big again, as fashions change. Verizon. Oh, that one's fucked. That's thumper food. HTC with Google. It has Google with Google. Look at that. Well, I always like something with more Google in it. That's a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry for a long time. There was exactly one awesome feature about BlackBerry. It had the best version of Brick Breaker. That was the only thing I liked about my BlackBerry. It had Brick Breaker, and that was the killer app for me. I only ever owned one BlackBerry. Oh, this is a flip-up one with the extra screen in it. I wonder what we can do with some of these. Most old cell phones we donate to the Rape Crisis Clinic. Oh, that's active. Yes, there's a phone number there. I'm pretty sure it's not active anymore. Oh, here's another Crackberry with the nipple. This is like mine. Mine wasn't silver, I had a black one, but it was very similar to this, except Sprint. A lot of these are smashed. See, if they're smashed up, we tend to not give them to people. The ones that work, that power up and work alright. Yeah, this is mine. That's my BlackBerry right there. I didn't have a Verizon, but same model. That's... You power up? You got anything? No, you're dead. You're dead, bitch. What do you... Oh, we can charge it. Alright. Holsters. This is just stuff that came in on donation today. Another Crackberry. You're not supposed to feel like that. I don't know, it feels like it's by design. That's weird. I never had a touchscreen one, but it's this thing moves like a mouse, like the whole thing goes chunk, chunk. Huh. What are you? Oh, that's fucked. I like the electrical tape. She'll be right! So we got some Mac servers in. We got a HP Color LaserJet 2840. Got a pair of those. Some fun over here. This is neat. Check this out. A pair VGA over Cat5 extender with audio from Triplite, so it's decent. Those are cool. We'll use that with the robots. And we got a giant server here. What are you? Intel Xeon. Intel Xeon what? Inside. Yeah, well, how much Xeon? What does it do? It's got a zip drive on the front. Huh. And we got some base stations, we got some battery packs, we got a handful of monitors, some laptops. Almost every laptop is missing keys, which really annoys the shit out of me. What are we gonna do with a laptop? I'm missing keys. We're gonna thump it. We got a fax machine. Some computers, some various bits and pieces. We got Spy Sweeper. Hey! I think I might use this as a blog giveaway. This might need to be a prize for somebody. You want to win a copy of Spy Sweeper? Take control of your PC again with this award-winning anti-spyware software used by millions worldwide. Millions of people! Comment if you have ever used Spy Sweeper. Bonus points if you actually paid for it. Yeah. So, that's the day. We got another big truckload of gear coming in tomorrow. Big one, coming out of Lansing. And, yeah, boat stuff, computer stuff. Beck did robot things. She did a great demo. Ed's camera is working. You can see this on the live stream now. That camera can actually feed the live stream. And I'm kind of proud of him for that one. That was an undertaking. It took a lot of people, a lot of work to be able to get video, power, all that jazz all the way up the arm, because they had to, they really did a job on that. It took a lot of work. So, that's pretty cool. I like that we're getting stuff done. I like, we're selling boats, we're making things happen, but it's so frustrating right now. It's 16 weeks in, we still haven't gotten a real grant. And if you think I don't get reminded of that twice a day, every day, because we've never been so successful. We've never been so successful. We have more members in more countries, we're doing more projects and more stuff, and I am completely bogged down with lack of funding.
No, you didn't.
I came in second.
Are you done?
I came second to Corey.
Corey came first.
Then I came second. I'm the considerate one.
For some reason, this thing, as soon as it came off the camera, goes on.
What came off the camera? Oh, that's important.
For type-
Where's it go?
Good question. I assume it
You don't know where it goes. That's not part of the camera, I can tell you that. That's part of the mount or the pedestal.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just gonna put it right here because that's important looking.
For considering the storage condition this thing was in, it could have been off of another thing that just had been sitting there forever. And then
I love these cameras. I wish we had like 50 more of these cameras. I love them.
so you got the BTS. Talk to the,
You know what BTS is?
bigger, thicker strength. Yeah, maybe we might be able to get more if we.
Hey Ed, what's BTS stand for?
Broadcast television systems.
See, Ed knows this stuff.
It's like is his job or something.
See, half the world just went, oh, it's British Telecom. Yeah, I know BT.
Broadcast history.
That's entirely possible. My clip just quit, and I don't know why. Maybe I timed out on it. I haven't been talking for 20 minutes.
Even the camera's like, dude, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it's a day. It's been a whole day. I might have been talking for 20 minutes. Just did a whole thing.
Funny, I thought it was like a 3/4 day.
So what are you up to?
About to go home.
All right. Good night, kids. We love you all.
Except that guy.
Except that guy who took all your money.
Completely alone.
He thinks he's so classy with his cassette record player.
You guys have fun. That's today's Captain's Blog. We'll see you tomorrow. Today's Captain's Blog was brought to you by Brad Wilmot.